What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today's Alabama State's round number 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another 8, we have Jake Dudzik playing his Vespiquen Vileplume list. The main thing to note is he cut a Sycamore for an AZ, and besides that, it's pretty much the same Vespiquen Vileplume list we've always seen. He doesn't play Revitalizer, he does play Love Ball instead of that, which I like more. I like Love Ball to search out for unknowns rather than Revitalizer. You're taking Pokemon out of the discard pile, and you really can't search out your unknowns except for Ultra Ball. But if you give me a second, we'll see the player on the right and see what they're playing. Alright, on the right we have Mike playing as Yveltal, Zoroark, and Zoroark break deck. It does heavily focus on Zoroark with the 4-4-2 line, 3 Oblivion Wing, 1 Fright Knight / Pitch Black Spirit Yveltal to shut down tools. Plays the 2 Target Whistles, which I really do like a lot to bring a Pokemon out of the discard if needed. You're going to take most of your knockouts by knocking out Shaman EXs, which is pretty nice. It does play 2 Reverse Valleys as well, 3 Muscle Bands, and it's a pretty good deck. But let's see what happens. Is the Vespiquen Vileplume going to take the win, or is Yveltal Zoroark break going to take the win? Let's see what happens right now. Alright guys, here we go. Alabama State's round number 5. Like I said, on the left we have Jake playing his Vespiquen Vileplume deck. And on the right we have Mike playing his Yveltal Zoroark break deck. I want to see what happens. It'll come down to, does Mike get a good turn 1? Can he get down multiple Zoroarks or not? Multiple Zoroarks to get into Zoroarks. I think that's to be his best attacker in this game. They only need a DC attack, and we know Jake is going to fill his bench up, because Jake has to put down multiple Shamas to draw into these turn 1 Vileplume. So we'll have to see what happens here today. Which one do you want to win? Do you want Vespiquen Vileplume, or do you want Yveltal Zoroark to take the game? I know a lot of people probably want the Yveltal Zoroark to come in to win, because a lot of people don't like this Vespiquen Vileplume deck, but it is such a strong deck. If you have never played it, make sure you do test it out. But we'll see both players are shuffling up, getting ready to go. They already had the coin flip, so I thought they were going to start pretty soon. And Mike took off his moose looking hats. It had antlers on it. I guess it was a moose hat. I'm not sure. But both players are going to set up here. We're getting ready to go. And I think, I guess Jake must be going first. He did put the die on his side, so I guess that's what that means. And let's see what happens. Alright. And we'll see both players shake their hands, and let's see what happens and who. I imagine, like I said, Jake is going first since he puts the dice on his side of the field. And both players will get 7 new cards, and let's see what happens. We'll see Mike does have a Shaman in his hand and some other cards. We see Jake does get one as well. And can Jake get the turn 1 Yveltal, not turn 1 Yveltal, the turn 1 Vileplume? That is the big question. And let's see what Mike decides to start. It doesn't look like he is happy. Okay, and alright, so here we go. Mike's gonna put out his cards, and let's see what happens. We see Jake start with the Combi and an unknown. Alright, so let's have this long turn 1. So Combi, Acrobike, look at top 2 cards. One was a Flowstone, and the other one, I am not sure, a Sycamore. It looks like he's gonna discard the Flowstone. Maybe he doesn't have a supporter card in his hand. A Combi comes down. We see a Trainer's Mill. He could maybe grab the Ultra Ball. That might be a really good card to get. Could discard 2 cards, attach to DCE, and search for a Shebe to start the party. I think that's what I would do, but let's see what Jake ends up doing. Yeah, gonna grab the Ultra Ball, gonna shuffle up, and like I said, Jake might discard those other 2 cards. One's a Sycamore, one's the DC. I doubt he'll discard either one of those. We know Jake only plays the 3 Sycamore, so he does need to keep those in his hand a lot to make sure he does draw into them. Or not draw to him, he's able to use them. So see Mike give it a good little shuffle. And let's see, what does Jake decide to do? He's actually an unknown Feral Letter first. He's going to Level Ball, probably get out an Oddish for sure. Let's see what happens. Okay, so Level Ball, going to search out the Oddish. And I imagine that's what we're going to see. Jake's going to look through his deck first to see what's all in there. Now he could look for a unknown. And not unknown for an Oddish, and then play Ultra Ball to get out a Shebe. But it looks like he's eyeballing an unknown. I would definitely go for the Oddish, try to get that turn 1 Vileplume online. And let's see, does he go for it or not? Yeah, he is going to get the Oddish online. I do agree with that. We're going to see an Ultra Ball discard a Bunnelby and a Vespiquen. You only need attack with like maybe 2 to 3 Vespiquens, so that's okay, discarding 1 early game. And let's see what Jake decides to get. Probably a Shebe, like I said. I doubt, oh, he might go for the unknown. So he's going to go for the unknown. Maybe he doesn't want to fill his bench up, so that way Zoroark can't really take a knockout, but I think 3, 6, 7. I guess it's not taking a knockout right now on a Vespiquen. A Zoroark won't be taking a knockout. But let's see what happens. Jake's going to attach a DC today. Oh, bench guy. And we'll see a Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. We'll see a Forest of Giant Plants coming down. Trainer's Mill, look at the top 4 cards of his deck. Could grab a Floatstone to put on that Oddish to give it free retreat. So that way Mike can't license it up and keep it stuck in the active spot. I do like that Floatstone coming down into his hand. But does Jake have an Ultra Ball to search out for a Shaman? It does not look like it right now. He's seeing how many Pokemon are in the discard pile. There's a Floatstone, a Combi, a DC, so Feral Letter, Unknown, Feral Letter, and a Gloom. But I do not see a Vileplume in his hand, so we might see a pass turn 1 on Mike's turn. And Jake's hand is full of energies and Pokemon. Oh, that is not good. But on Mike's turn, let's see what happens. He's got an Ultra Ball in his hand. Looks like he's trying to figure out what to do. And we see a Trainer's Mail first of all. And let's see what this Trainer Mail gets him. Maybe the a Muscle Band, okay. He does have an Yveltal in his hand, so he could put down the Yveltal, put down the Muscle Band, or Ultra Ball to search out for a Zora, then attach a Muscle Band to it as well. So we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Zoroark, and maybe the Yveltal. Looks like Vespiquen is being discarded. That's a pretty good option. I mean, he doesn't really have any target in the discard pile for Vespiquen. We see a Shaybe coming on down. And maybe Mike's gonna loop Shamans? I'm not sure. Maybe he's just getting the Shaman just to help set up, draw more cards. And let's see what he decides to do. He does have the DC's hand. Azora Yveltal comes down. Floatstone, DCE, Muscle Band, and Shaman for 6. Wow. So that's a pretty good 6 cards. And let's see, can Mike find it? He does have another Ultra Ball, but he also has 2 Vespiquen in his hand, but no supporter card in his discard pile, which is not great. So Ultra Ball discarding a Vespiquen and the Zoroark break. And this will most likely get a Zora, and that way he can evolve into a Zoroark next turn. And let's see that Zoroark coming on down onto the field. And imagine he's going to Sky Return, knock out this Combi, and then promote the Yveltal with the Floatstone. That's what I would think. And that way he does have a Shaman in his hand with a DCE to evolve into to put on the Zora for the next turn. We see a Zora coming down. We'll see an Yveltal, the Pitch Black Spear one, and we'll see a Shaman going to Sky Return for 50. Taking a knockout on the Combi, and let's see who Mike decides to send up. Looks like he's going to send up the Yveltal with the Floatstone, which I do like that decision. It will see Combi come up for Jake, but Jake doesn't really have anything. We see Combi, DCE, a Floatstone to the Gloom. Oh, he does have a Sycamore though, okay, so good. Sycamore coming down, so we will see a Sycamore coming online, and we see a Vespiquen coming down. He does have an Ultra Ball. He can Ultra Ball discard a Combi. He's already discarded 2 Vespiquen, so he really doesn't need to put down another Vespiquen. Looks like he is going to, though. I think he's already discarded 2 Vespiquens. Maybe I'm seeing, oh no, maybe he just evolved one. But we see a Battle Compressor. This is going to discard maybe up to 3 Oddishes. We see a Gloom, Shaman, and a Gloom coming down. Okay, maybe he already has all of his Glooms in the discard pile. I know I see a Vespiquen, a Oddish, and some Unknowns. Alright, so we see those 3 being discarded. We know that Jake also has a Shaman in his hand, so the turn's going to keep on going for sure. And let's see what Jake decides to do. Does he put down the Shaman or not? He will. Shaman drawn up to 6. He does have the Ultra Ball in his hand as well, so he can get the Vileplume down this turn. We see a Love Ball maybe getting out of Pokemon, and then Ultra Ball away, but we see, nope, just a Vespiquen coming down. He does have a Battle Presser, going to discard 3 Pokemon out of his deck. There's a Vespiquen, oh my goodness, a Vileplume, Gloom. I was saying Vespiquen, but it's a Vileplume, Oddish, and a Gloom. So right now there's 12 Pokemon in the discard pile. This Be Revenge will do 140 damage, and that will knock out this Yveltal. And we see an Ultra Ball going to get out the Vileplume. Alright, so Vileplume coming on down, and there we go. So the lock is online. 2 Vespiquens are down, both with DCEs. I wonder if Jake has another Vespiquen in the deck. I'm not 100% sure. And let's see, there's 1 Vespiquen. I think there's 2 Vespiquens in there. Unless I'm seeing, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. I know the Bunnelby's in the discard pile for sure. But on Mike's turn, let's see what he decides to send up. Does he send the Zora, hoping to hit the Zoroark, or does he promote the Shaman? It looks like he is going to promote the Zora. We see a DC attachment. And we might see a Sycamore, maybe a Shaman. Shaman could maybe get 2 cards. Let's see, can he draw to one of the 3 Zoroarks left? He did already discard 1. But does he put down? Nope. Just going to Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Can he find the Zoroark or not? That's the big question. We see a Zoroark coming down. Now, Mike does have a Life Center in his hand. And what could happen next turn is Mike can Life Center up that Vileplume with the Floatstone, promote the Yveltal with the Pitch Black Spirit and pass and pass and pass and pass, and then Jake will eventually just get decked out. I'm not sure how many DCs are left in his deck, though. So let's see a pass. We'll see a B Wrench, most likely for the knockout. Alright, on Mike's turn, he's going to promote that Yveltal. We're going to License and bring up that Vileplume. And can Jake retreat this guy or not? We see a DC to the active. And alright, so we see the Lysander bring up the Vileplume. We just see a pass from Mike. We see a Shaman setting up for 1. And let's see, the question is, can Shaman find a DC? Can the Vileplume find a DC or not? We see a Vespiquen coming down. And we'll see a pass on a Mike's turn. Let's see what Mike decides to do. We saw him Lysander the Vileplume last turn. We see a DC to the Shaman. And we'll see Sycamore going to discard his hand, drawing 7 new cards. The question is, does Mike decide to take a knockout or not? Or does he let just Jake deck out? That's the big question. Let's see what Mike decides to do. Look at his discard pile. We'll see another pass from Mike. And we'll see another pass from Jake. Alright, and we might just see a continuous pass. Alright, another pass. Another pass, okay. Another pass, and we might see this Vespiquen player get decked out. I mean, the Fright Knight, the Fright Knight Yveltal just being stuck in the active, but he does play the AZ, and wow, Jake did get that AZ. Alright, so we see an AZ come up out of nowhere, picking up that Vileplume line. Now Jake could put the whole Vespiquen line back down. The question is, I mean, not the Vespiquen, the whole Vileplume back down, but he decides not to. There's no more Floatstones in the deck. I actually forgot he played the AZ for a second. So on Mike's turn. Wow, that was pretty cool, that AZ. I thought Jake was just done for, but I forgot he did play the AZ. Now, I don't think he put down the Vileplume. I don't think he put it back down. He has a Vespiquen, and 2 Shamans on the field. And that was a great play by Jake. If he put down the Vespiquen or the Vileplume, he would have lost. We know Mike does have a Lysander in his hand, and he could have just Lysandered that Vileplume, got it stuck in the active spot forever. We see Mike put down a Zoroark. We maybe see a Trainer's Mail. Yep, Trainer's Mail. Look at the top 4 cards of his deck, and what does he decide to get? Maybe the Floatstone. Could put it on a Zoroark to free retreat it. Maybe a Reverse Valley, get rid of that Force of Giant Plants. But I don't think Jake's gonna put down the Vileplume. Like I said, he doesn't have a way to pick up the Vileplume back up, so I don't think he's gonna put it back down. Both Floatstones are gone, and the 1 AZ. And it looks like we're seeing an Ultra Buff isn't happen. Unless the Mike decides to do. Let's see, okay, oh, maybe those 3. Oh, there we go, those 3 look good. So Ultra Ball discarding an Yveltal and a Megaphone. And let's see what he decides to get out. Maybe the Zoroark, so he can start using the stand-in and use a Mind Jack. Mind Jack's a really good attack right now. It's doing 3, 6, 9, 12, 130, if I did the math right. Okay, so Trainer's Mail, Yveltal. We'll see a DC, and he does have a Lysander in his hand. We see a Reverse Valley coming down as well. He's going to Lysander, bring up that Shaman. He's going to stand in, and he's just going to Sky Return for 30, actually. Going to promote the Yveltal. And the question is, does Jake have another DC in his deck or not to retreat the Shaman? Or is it just stuck there forever in the active spot? And let's see, does Jake have another DC or not? That's the big question. Let's see what Jake's gonna look through his discard pile to see what's all in there. But if all of his DCs are gone, this might be the game. We see Jake only have like 3 cards left in his deck, and we know Jake does not play a Lysander, so things are gonna get weird. We see Jake just scoop at the game, saying, "Hey, there's nothing really I can really do. The Shaman is gonna be stuck there forever." So we see Mike take game number 1. Jake did get that Vespiquen Vileplume lock online, but we see Mike brought out that Vileplume, got it kind of stuck in the active spot just for a little bit, but Jake eventually drew an AZ, but Mike had another Lysander, bring up the Shaman, and getting kind of stuck in the active spot. So we see Mike take a game number 1. He would eventually just decked out Jake. I forgot that he played the AZ, like I said, so that was pretty cool when he just AZ pick it up. So that was pretty cool. But here we go into game number 2. Can Mike find that Yveltal one more time to get the, the lock online, making where Jake's Floatstones do not work? That's the big question. We saw Jake discard the first Floatstone pretty early, so when Jake had the opportunity to knock out the Fright Knight Yveltal, all of his Floatstones already gone, so he couldn't like AZ take a knockout and then put it back down because it just would have been Lysander back up because Jake had no more Floatstones left in the deck. So if Jake can hold on to all of his Floatstones somehow, right? It's almost impossible to hold on to your Floatstones because you're at the mercy of your Sycamores. Then he might be okay. He might be able to take the 1 knockout on the Fright Knight, but then Mike can also just knock out Jake's Vileplume with his Zoroark. And his Zoroark does so much damage. I don't know. It's just gonna come down to turn 1. If Jake can get the turn 1 Vileplume online and Mike can't find a Pokemon, Jake can easily just steal this game away by saying, hey, you're not gonna find a Pokemon. I'm gonna take out your only attacker. And let's see what happens. Both players are gonna set up, getting 7 cards in their hand. And let's see what happens. Okay, we see Jake does have an Oddish in his hand. And we see Mike does have a Zora. I see an Yveltal EX in his hand, so he does have other Pokemon in his hand. So he's not going to get benched out turn 2 if Jake does get this turn 1 Vileplume. We see a Force of Giant Plants come down. Combi, Battle Compressor. This might discard some Oddishes. So 1 Oddish is being discarded, another Oddish being discarded most likely. Alright, so 2 Oddish, and then does he have a third one in the deck? And the question is, does he discard a third one if it is in the deck, or do you save one or do you save one? That's the big question. And let's see what Jake decides to do. He's going to see what's all prized, what's not prized, what's in there, and if he's good to go or not. So Jake's going to look through, make sure he knows everything carefully, and we do see a Gloom being discarded. Alright, maybe he realizes he has like 3 other Glooms in the deck, so he's like, I'm fine with discarding 1. Maybe he does have an Oddish prize. So I don't know. I don't know if he has 1 prize or if he saved 1 just in case a Vileplume does get knocked out. We see a Vileplume in his hand currently. We see an Acrobite getting a Trainer's Mail over Shaman. It looks like he's going to get the Shaman, alright. He does have a Ultra Ball in his hand, so he can Ultra Ball discard the Vileplume. We see a Shaman set up for 6, getting a Combi, a Gloom. A Combi come down, and a Gloom. A DC on that guy, and an Ultra Ball discarding a Vileplume with something else. Most likely get another Shaman EX and going to set up, drawing 6 whole new cards. And let's see, can Jake find this Floatstone and a Vileplume to get the turn 1 lock? And if that does happen, that will put Mike in a weird situation. Mike does not play Hex Maniac, so he cannot shut down this Vileplume. He just has to knock it out or get it stuck in the active spot with a Fright Knight. Those are his best 2 options. Alright, let's see. Shaman set up for 6. Can he find the Floatstone or not? I do see an Ultra Ball in his hand, a Battle Compressor. And what he can do with his Battle Compressor is discard all of his Glooms and then maybe his Unknowns. And the reason why you're going to discard the Unknowns is because, you know, they're pretty much useless. And he does have another Battle Compressor and an Ultra Ball. So he needs to Shaman set up for 6 and not draw into these Unknowns because they were pretty much useless later on after, because his bench is going to be full after he plays this Ultra Ball. So I would Battle Compressor, discard all your Unknowns. Looks like he is going to Ultra Ball. And if he does go for a Shaman, oh man, that'd be kind of weird. Looks like, yeah, I'm not sure what card that is. Oh man, what card is that coming down? Is it a Shaman or not? Oh man, let's see what happens. What card is that? I can't tell. It looks like it might be a Shaman. Like I said, he should have discarded maybe his Unknowns first, because once he puts this Shaman down, no more Unknowns can come down. And that's the big thing. We do see a Love Ball coming down, which he can search for a Vespiquen, most likely. Yeah, Vespiquen will come down, the one with the DCE. But does Jake have a Floatstone or not? He does have the Vileplume in his hand, but can he retreat this Gloom or not? That's the big question. And let's see what happens. We see another Ultra Ball in his hand. We see a Trainer's Mail. We see a Battle Compressor. I would play the Battle Compressor, discard the Unknowns. So you at least have we see a Trainer's Mail. And there's all those Unknowns in his hand. 3 Unknowns. Like I said, Jake should have discarded those Unknowns earlier with the Battle Compressor. The first one before he Shaman, because his bench is full. He can't use the Unknowns. Why? I wouldn't keep him in the deck. That's my main thing. We see now we see a Battle Compressor, and now he's going to discard the Unknowns after he already saw them with a Trainer's Mail. Oh man. Maybe he still would whiffed, but I at least like to guarantee have more, a better shot of getting this out. And he does have a Vileplume in, and it looks like he might put the Vileplume down. And let's see, does he put the Vileplume down or not? Jake does play that AZ, so he could AZ and pick up the Vileplume. And we'll see a Vileplume come down on Mike's turn. Let's see what happens. He does have the Yveltal in his hand one more time, and the Yveltal X does come down. Wow. Alright, Mike getting that Yveltal, the Fright Knight one out. That's pretty crazy. Without even playing Ultra Ball, it's just in his hand, which is always great. We see a DC to the Yveltal EX and a pass on a Jake's turn. And he has an Ultra Ball and Acrobike. We see a pass on a Mike. Playing a Shaman, going to set up, draw 6 new cards. He does have a DC in his hand and Reverse Valley. He could put the Reverse Valley down, bumping that Force of Giant Plants. We see a DC going down to Shebe. Mike's going to look through Jake's discard pile to see if it's all in there. Okay, it looks like he's satisfied with what he saw. We might see Reverse Valley coming down, and we do see that. Let's see a pass on to Jake's turn. There's a Floatstone. A pass from Mike. We might see another pass from Jake. Okay, pass from Mike. Zoroark coming down. A pass. Okay. We're going to see a lot of passing here for a little bit. Another, looks like we see another pass. Okay, another pass. Alright, alright. This is getting exciting. Another pass. Another pass. And do we see another pass, or does Mike play that Sycamore? And he is going to play the Sycamore. Going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Can he find a Zoroark and a DCE to use Mind Jack this turn to knock out that Vileplume? That's the big question. It does not seem like he does have it, though. See a pass on to Jake's turn. We see a Vespiquen coming down. Pass on to Mike's turn. And he does have another Sycamore. The question is, does he play it or not? How many cards are left in Jake's deck compared to Mike? I think Mike should be safe to discard his hand, though. It looks like he is contemplating that Sycamore. I'm okay with that. Looks like he is going to Sycamore, discard his hand away. Can he find a Zoroark and a DC is the big question. I saw a Zoroark, but does he have a DC or not? There's a Zoroark, okay. And we'll see a pass on to Jake's turn, okay. Jake could start putting DCs on the active Vileplume, but I don't know how much I like that, because they'll eventually just get, you have to use them to retreat, and that's not good. I think it's Mike's turn. Yeah, it must be Mike's turn. He's looking through everything, see what's in the discard piles, trying to contemplate what to do. He's trying to count how many cards are left in Jake's deck. I guess that's what he was doing. Trying to contemplate, does he play the Sycamore or the Judge, I guess. Looks like he has a Judge in his hand. Does he play the Judge or not? He is going to Judge, put both players at 4 cards. Maybe he's counting to see who would have more cards left in the deck, and he's like, alright, Jake's going to have less cards than me. And I don't think so. Jake does he's already played like a bunch of Battle Pressers and discarded a bunch of stuff out of his deck, and he has played 3 Shamans, I think. So his deck should be pretty thin. Alright. So on to Mike, did he find a DC or not? There's Zoroark coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to Jake's turn, we see a DC come in his hand one more time. Pretty much not useful. We see a Floatstone as well. And does Jake put the DC on the active or not? That's the big question. We see a DC onto that Vileplume. And on to Mike's turn, he does find a DCE, so he can stand in and take a knockout with the Zoroark. The question is, does he want to? Does he take a knockout or not, or does he make Jake search for this other DCE, and then Mike could license her back up to the active spot? Well, let's see what Mike decides to do. Does he be aggressive, or does he play defensive and just let that Vileplume just manually retreat later? There we see a stand-in from the Zoroark, and do we see a DC attachment or not? We will see a DC attachment, and we'll see a Mind Jack for the knockout on that Vileplume. Now on to Jake's turn, he's going to promote that Vespiquen with the DCE. He does have enough to be avenged for the knockout. We see a Kobe come down. And we'll see a B wrench for the knockout, most likely knocking out the Zoroark. But the thing is, Mike can use Lysanders and VS Seekers to knock out Pokemon, while Jake doesn't have Lysanders. So this is not going to be good for Jake eventually. Like, this is going to go bad. This is going to go downhill real quick. But Mike, on to Mike's turn, let's see what happens. He can finally play all of his standard cards. He does have a Zoroark in his hand. He could Zoroark the DC. I don't think there's a DC on the bench. If there is, then I'll have DC off the bench. Okay. So Mike's gonna look to see what he's gonna do. Looks like he's gonna grab the Flowstone. Could put that on a Zora. Maybe on a Zora. Looks like he's gonna contemplate an Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball discarding an Yveltal and a Target Whistle. Okay. And let's see what he decides to go for. Maybe a Zoroark. Then he get Flowstone, stand in, and maybe take a knockout this turn. So we see a Zoroark coming down. Okay. But let's see what Mike decides to do. Does he have a DC or not? He does have a Flowstone. Looks like we see a Zoroark discard the DC off the active. We'll see a Sky Return for 30. Promote the Yveltal EX because it can't be knocked out right now. Now Jake does have 2 DC in his hand. There's a DCE, a Trainer's Mail. Look at the top 4 cards of his deck. Could grab the Ultra Ball, but I don't know what it really does. He does have an AZ as well, but that doesn't really do anything either. He doesn't really need to pick up anything. He could maybe pick up a Shaman with the AZ, making our Mike has 1 less Lysander target, but there's still the 2 Shamans on the bench, so I don't know how much helpful play that's going to be. And we know Mike's going to take a knockout next turn. He's got the Zoroark, he's got the DCE, and we do see an AZ coming down. And I wonder, does he pick up that Shaman or not? I don't know. But we're going to see a B-Revenge. It's not going to knock out this Yveltal if I remember correctly. I don't think it is. It looks like it's only going to do 140. Unless I'm seeing things wrong. We see a Trainer's Mail. Let's see what Jake decides to get. Could get a Aggro Bike or a Ultra Ball. I don't think he'll grab a Sycamore. I mean, he could maybe get a Sycamore for later on, but he has a DC in his hand, so he doesn't really need to play the Sycamore this turn. We see an Ultra Ball coming down for Jake. Okay. And let's see what he decides to do. Does he have any Pokemon in his hand to discard? We see an AZ, going to pick up the Vespiquen, Ultra Ball, discard a Vespiquen and a Combi. Going to put down another Vespiquen. And is that enough for a knockout? Can Jake take a knockout this turn? That'd be pretty crazy. Let's see. Is that enough Pokemon in the discard pile or not? Is there 50 Pokemon in the discard pile to do 170? Let's see. All right. And Mike's gonna count it up, make sure how many Pokemon are in there. And yeah, we'll see a Beer Revenge knocking out this Yveltal EX. Mike thought he was safe, but that AZ Ultra Ball combo took a knockout. We see a Flowstone to the Zor. We see a DC to the Zoroark. We see a Shaman coming down, drawing up to 6 cards. Alright, and let's see, can Mike find another Zoroark to keep the train of Zoroarks coming down? We'll see a Zoroark coming down as well. Mike does have a Battle Compressor. He could thin his deck out of stuff he really doesn't need. And man, this is actually pretty close. I don't know if Jake has another attacker after this Vespiquen gets knocked out the next turn, though. That's the big question. I'm not sure what we saw with the trainer spell. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm sorry about that. But let's see what Mike decides to do. He's going to stand in. He's going to use Mind Jet to take a knockout. The question is, can Mike take another knockout the following turn or not? Jake does have only 3 prize cards left. I think that's what it is. Maybe 3, maybe 2. I can't see. But let's see what Mike does. Looks like we'll see a retreat into the Zoroark. We will see a Mind Jack for the knockout. Alright, so Mike will go down to 3 prize cards. And we'll see a Vespiquen coming up. We see a Force of Giant Plains for bumping that Reverse Valley. We'll see an Acrobike. And let's see what Jake decides to discard. It looks like the Sycamore. And we'll see a B-Range for the knockout. And let's see what happens. Alright, looks like Jake is at 2 prize cards left. And Mike is at 3. But if Mike can take a knockout, I don't think Jake has any more attackers or any more DCs. So that will probably be a game for him. We see an Ultra Ball discarding a Megaphone and a Zoroark break. And let's see what happens. Can he find another Zoroark? He already has 1 on the field. But having 2, it's always great. But I don't see any DC. I do see a DC in his deck. Okay, so there is a DC in his deck. Looks like he's going to get an Yveltal. If he doesn't have a Zoroark, he might as well just grab some kind of Pokemon. We see a Battle Presser going to discard 3 cards out of his deck. Maybe just 1. He needs to make sure he does not deck out. He does have the Super Rod as well, so he could discard 3 cards, play Super Rod, shuffle back in 3 cards, and be okay. For a couple turns, all he needs to do is draw to that DCE, then play the Vespiquen for the Lysander, take a knockout on a Shaman, and he can win the game. We see a Battle Presser discarding a Muscle Band, Double Dark, and we'll see a Yveltal, and we'll see a Sycamore. Going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Does he get the DC or not? And a Super Rod, going to shuffle back in 3 combination of Pokemon and energies. 1, 2, and looks like a 3rd one. There we go. Now you might be like, why is Mike playing a Super Rod right now? We got to remember, Jake does play that Bumblebee, and Jake could put down the Bumblebee, double Rototiller, deck out Mike if that were to come down. We see a DCE, and we'll see a Mind Jack for the knockout. But I don't think Jake has an attacker left in the deck unless he really decides to do. Does he have anything or not? We see Mike only has 4, maybe 5 cards left in his deck. Oh man, it's not looking good for Jake. Can he find another attacker or not? I mean, Mind Jack will only do 3, 6, 70. It's not going to take a knockout. It's not going to take a knockout on Mike's turn. He's going to draw a card. We'll see a Mind Jack for 70 right now. He does have Target Whistle in his hand, though. With Target Missile will do any math, 3, 6, 9, 10. He needs a Reverse Valley. If he can play a Target Whistle, then get out a Reverse Valley, he can take a knockout on a Shaman, 3, 6, 9, then plus a 10, then plus a Reverse Valley. Would be a knockout, but does he have that or not? That's the big question. Oh man, so many what ifs. I mean, Mike could be fine with just like Oblivion and the next turn Lysander up and taking a knockout. That could be okay as well. Looks like he might just go for a Mind Jack. Either way, I'm fine with this. Alright. So we see a Mind Jack doing 70. Oh, actually, Oblivion plus a Mind Jack does not do a knockout. Well, unless he Oblivions, then Target Whistles, and then Mind Jack, that could be a knockout. But we see an Unknown. We might see a Feral Letter. I don't know what that really does. We see an Unknown coming down. We see a Flowstone retreat to a Shaman. And what does he pass on a Mike's turn? Mike can just Lysander and or Target Whistle to win the game. We see a Dark Energy as well. We see a Zoroark break. And we'll see a Zoroark coming down as well. And there's a Mind Jack. Oh, he has 1 prize card left. Wow. I thought he had 2. Okay, I thought he had 2 left, but there was 3 left in his deck. We see a Shaman being promoted. And we'll see a pass on a Mike's turn. We see a Lysander bring up the Unknown. And wow, if Jake didn't bench that Unknown, I wonder what would have happened. I mean, Mike would have hit for 40, and then next turn, Target Whistle, 3. I think he still would have won that way. I think he still would have been fine. He would have target whistle, or he would have tagged the next turn target whistle and brought up the shame and take a knockout because it'd be 3, 6, 7. 7 plus 4 is 110. So yeah, he had the win regardless if Jake didn't bench that unknown regardless. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. You can see both these decks are pretty strong, the Vespiquen and the Vileplume. We saw Jake kind of whiff that AZ and the Flowstone turn 1, which definitely did hurt him. He did get the turn with Vileplume, but just no Flowstone really did hurt Jake. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Alrighty, bye.